first episode of the Inside Gate. This is a new podcast I'm starting. Yours truly is the host. And just going to try to get some of the most well-known individuals on the MX Bikes community. And very first guest is my friend, Mr. IBSKelso. What's up, dude?
Going on, brother? I don't know if I'm famous or something, but I'll take it. I'll take it, dude. Oh man. Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely. Thanks for being number one. For those of you guys that don't know who IBSKelso is, which I imagine most of you do, but he's a YouTube content creator on MX Bikes and recently turned pro rider in the 250 class in aerial. Oh, get the poopy hat on. Nice.
Maybe you'll know now. Maybe you'll know now.
There we go. Had to disguise it.
Yeah, for real. I'm not going to keep this on, but maybe you'll know from there. Too easy.
Yeah, dude. Over 20,000 subs now, 9,500 followers on TikTok, and 5.5 million plus views. That's
dude.
Absolutely crazy.
It's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Such a short amount of time. It seems like yesterday you were just at like 7K, I think.
Yeah, man. I came back from Colorado. I went on leave. So I had for those who don't know, I'm in the military, but I had 20 use or lose days of leave. So I took 26. And I went to Colorado. And then I was going to St. Louis. And I was kind of worried at that time for real, dude. I was like, yo, man, I don't know, man. I was on a quota to where it's I can hit 1,000 subs a month. And then, dude, just something sparked, man. And I just wanted to try out a new thing and kind of just went booming for me.
Yeah, it took off for sure. I mean, gained I think 15,000 subs last month. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, you just got back from the Denver Supercross. How was it?
That was absolutely amazing. I was gonna create a vlog on it, but it was more or less I didn't go with friends. I went with my family, so I was kind of more enjoying the moment. But man, let me tell you, I gotta say, dude, I wish I would have recorded my experience with the privateers. I think if anybody's trying to grow and make themselves something, privateers in the same boat, for sure. I just felt like I was so relatable when they were yeah, man, it's hard to get a table on, table off, do this, and then just kind of just talking about the experience of man, it really is hard to only have one bike, and they don't even use that race bike unless it's race day, and then you gotta have a second bike. It was just crazy to hear it, man. And I'm drunk at this time. I'm already 5 freaking alcoholic beverages in. So just hearing all this, man, I'm just trying to soak it in, bro. Have a good time, making jokes. But that was fun, dude.
Yeah, I did the same exact thing at Nashville. I've always been a big fan of Jared Lesher. He's usually the only two-stroke that quals for the 450 class, and getting to go see him at Nashville, and he was never there. I don't know where he was at. I don't know if they were working on his bike or what, but it's every time I went to his trailer, he was never there. And then finally, at the very end of the day, his bike was sitting there, but of course he was missing. So
yeah. So we saw Stank Dog, and for me. I had told my dude or my wife's brother, I was yeah, Stink Dog's that guy. He's the guy that just comes out, tries to qualify in a two-stroke. And man, my dude fell in love with it, and we just had to get him, man. He was a really cool, personable guy, IRL. So
that's awesome.
That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that track would look super tough. So when you see guys like that, like you said, their bike, it's not a factory bike. I mean, it has a lot of stock parts on it. They do a lot of the work right there in their own garage, and it's very impressive for them to go out there and even some of them beat the guys that do have factory rides, and I mean it's super impressive.
Yeah, the one guy I was talking to, man, I never even caught his name. Like I said, I was a little drunk, so I was just walking up trying to create talk, man. But yeah, it was crazy for me to hear him say he has the same exact Kawasaki, but he doesn't have the factory edition of it, and the factory engine is literally $2,000, $2,000 difference, and then the whole setup. So it's just he's they make those 250s so wide out to where it's almost a 450, and it's dude, that's insane,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's crazy to yeah, no, it's crazy to yeah, it's crazy to know that somewhat money does talk a little bit in that I guess in the racing aspect of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a full blown factory race bike is like I want to say like $20,000, maybe even more than that now. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, talking about Supercross, who's your favorite rider? Who was your rider this year that you really stood out to you?
Jenny,
Yes,
Jenny,
sir. Hey,
Jenny.
hey, hey, hey,
Yo,
hey, hey.
I don't know where my jersey's at, man. I would actually put it on here, but yeah, man, Jet Lawrence for me, top tier, bro, top tier. I mean, it's almost like looking at the age, and I'm not even gonna try to compare it like that, but it's almost looking like Jet Lawrence is like the come up of like LeBron James right now. Like he's no Kobe. He's no Kobe, right? We have a Kobe. I would say that's James Stewart, and I would definitely say Ricky Carmichael's right there. But like a new era, like bringing something new, I would say I put Jet Lawrence in the same area of LeBron James for sure.
Absolutely. Like just to have someone like him in the sport who's so young, already accomplished so much. I mean,
Yeah,
I have it right here. He's obviously just won the 450 championship, two-time 250 motocross champ, 250 supercross champ, 450 motocross champ, went 22 and 0 his very first 450 motocross season. I mean, first one to do it since James Stewart. That's
dude, he's a monster.
absolute yes, it's
He's a
absolutely
monster.
mind-boggling. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah,
20
and
years old.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like for sure, like his backstory. What I enjoy about him is like I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I'm not a huge Hayden Deegan fan. Only because I feel like they're in the same caliber of like trying to come up for something, and like their talent's there. And I take nothing from Hayden Deegan, but Jet Lawrence has like this humbling mode on him to where it's like I know I'm the best, but like I'm not gonna let y'all see as if like I'm trying to be cocky out here. Like I'm gonna enjoy my win every time, but I'm not. I'm gonna go out and do business. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, go back to the drawing board. But I respect Jet more than what Hayden Deegan does, being cocky. And I feel like just him winning that championship last year, same thing as Chase Sexton, just felt like it was like kind of given to them. Like Chase Sexton winning because Tomac got hurt, which once again, like being healthy is a huge thing in the sport. And it was the
Absolutely.
same thing for Hunter Lawrence. If Hunter Lawrence wouldn't have not been been healthy, I don't think Hayden Deegan would have won that. And I think if Joe Shimoda would have been healthy from the start, Joe Shimoda was like definitely at least 2 times faster than Hayden Deegan. But once again, points kind of came into the air. So I don't know.
Yeah. Shimoda really impressed me the very end of this season. I think he podiumed pretty much every single race, like the last 6 or 7 races, is pretty impressive.
I think for him, what we're seeing is a Cooper Webb moment. I
Hmm.
think realistically, yes, maybe I can't be a 1-1 guy, but he will fight for points. So I'm kind of happy that he started doing that because if we look at the point system of it, I think he's not too far off to where when you go into outdoors, he's not a bad rider for outdoors. So I think a lot of people got to understand like the side of Supercross to go into the motocross. If you can at least stay in a fighting points chance and know you're not good at Supercross, but you can dominate in motocross, you have a huge chance for the SMX finals.
Yeah, and I think Deegan especially has done that. He had a couple rough races in Supercross, but finished second place in the East Championship. And she, I, I think that kid's going to do really good in the outdoor season. But yeah, just freaking Lawrence, dude. That kid is just insane. And I don't know, I like him so much because his family gave away everything for those two to go to Europe, and I mean the fact that they even got signed by Honda was just nuts. It is
Man,
absolute
I
coincidence.
didn't even know until yesterday that like his agent never even seen him ride. Signed the
No,
man.
not
Never
at
seen
all.
him ride. Signed the man. I said we're literally living a fairy tale for this man. Like he is him. That's the way to produce and also make kids nowadays to set the example. Like go like give it your all, man. Give it your all, dude. He's him.
Absolutely. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm excited to see motocross for sure.
oh, absolutely. He's going to absolutely kill it this season. And it's let's see, it's realistic. It's like it gives hope for people like I don't know you and me, all the kids that watch our channel. I mean, it's like anybody and anyone could be a pro rider. You just gotta work your ass off, and you can do it.
Seeing some of these privateers, man, I wish I actually would have got more into dirt biking than street biking. Because like some of the privateers I've seen, it's just like, man, like all you need is to actually get a pro license and kind of just know what you're doing. Like some of these guys' physique, like I won't say like I'm in the greatest of shape, you know, I got to maintain for sure for the military, but some of these guys, man, I'm looking. One of the riders was like a $120, dude. I'm like, how are you getting this bike everywhere, you know? And like then when he started telling me that like his hardest spots are literally trying to lift that bike off, compress the suspension, and pull the bike up off, you know, tables on, tables off, and I'm like, I'm starting to realize it's maybe not just you and the bike. It's just you needing maybe to work more on your physique. And then you look at Jet Lawrence and you look at those bigger 450 riders, they gotta stay in shape. You know what I mean? Like that's not a lightweight bike, man. I have a supermoto, man, and that thing's getting that thing on that little stool, bro. That's a little like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I was going through the AMA rule book the other day, you know, just coincidentally, and I think the minimum weight for those bikes is like 209 pounds, 212 pounds around there. I mean, that's insane. I mean, you look at it 85, it's like, you know, 100, I don't know, 150, 100, I have no clue how much it weighs, but you know, it's not a light bike. I mean,
it's not.
If you ever sit on a dirt bike, I mean, you know, I haven't sat on a dirt bike since I was on an 85, and then you know, I just went and bought my 250, and sitting on that thing for the first time, I was like, holy cow, this thing is like, it's big.
Yeah, it's a monster. And what's crazy, I give props to anybody that's over the like under 5'7". Like,
oh, absolutely.
I'm 6 foot, dude, and trying to get my leg over that thing. I'm on my tippy toes on both sides, man. So yeah, dude, I give them. Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", and like, you know, I was expecting to be flat-footed on both sides, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like 65s and 85s where I was able to flat foot both sides because I kind of grew whenever I was younger, so I was a good bit taller than everybody else. But those days are long gone.
Yeah. No, man, they're crazy, dude. I like it. I'm excited to see the Honda 2025 though. I don't know when that drops, but that bike's got to be beautiful. I hope Jet stays with Honda for a good minute as well.
Yeah, I think he signed a 5-year contract with them, so he's still got a little bit to go.
I think Honda's going to be set. I don't even think they need to sign anybody. Like I feel like everybody's going to hate it a little bit, but Honda's not going to want to sign anybody for 450s for quite a while. And I don't think they're going to let Hunter Lawrence go.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let Hunter or Shimoda go, but you know, everybody's going to be after Jet. So I think somebody's going to offer him a fat paycheck, and he might just have to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see him maybe on Yamaha, but then again, realistically, if Jet Lawrence is here for loyalty, not royalty, which is like, you know, Honda low-key gave him a deal without even seeing him, I personally would never leave. I don't care what money. Like, I would probably make still the same amount of money you're offering me here at Honda and my endorsements. That's just me, though. I think a lot of people like see that money and homie hop, and I think realistically, you have so much more connection staying there and more trust, and they would actually enjoy that than I feel like it would be on the other sides where it's like, oh, I'm just going to switch up because of the money deal.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think that's a huge thing. Like you mentioned, like they are the ones that gave him the ride. I mean, no one else, you know, even cared about him really.
Yeah.
And look at him now. I mean,
I've been going crazy, bro. Going crazy, dude.
I mean, you know, we've seen Villapoto, we've seen Dungy, we've seen, let's see who else, Tomac.
Yeah.
This kid's on another level.
Seen them all, dude. You know, speaking of that, I don't even mean to get off topic. Well, I guess it's not even off topic, it's podcast, but.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I went into my squadron the other day, and my commander, dude, I walk out and I see my commander's car, or his truck, and he's got a YZ 2015 YZ250 Yamaha, and I'm like, yo, wait a second. So I go to my NCO real quick, and I'm like, yo, like, do you think if I just walk into the commander's office just to talk about his bike, like, I'm going to get in trouble or something like that, you know? He's like, nah, like, I don't know your guys' relationship on it, but I was like, F it, I'm just going to go. And you know how I feel like if nobody understands, like, walking into, like, the commander's office is, like, absurd. Like, just for anything, you know, there's no reason you should ever be talking to that guy unless you're in trouble. But yeah, I walked in, dude. I was just like, hey, I'm going to keep it a buck. I saw the bike outside. What's going on? And he's like, yeah, man, I've been trying to sell it for here in a second, and now somebody's coming to pick it up. I was like, dude, if I would have known that you were selling that, I would have bought it, like, for real. And I asked him about Jet Lawrence and stuff like that. And apparently he knows a little bit of RJ Hampshire, but the guy, Ryan Villapota, he sold a rifle to him back in the day. And I was like, dude, what? So I'm like, yo, small world, man. That's kind of crazy. So
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
like Villapoto, I hate he ended his career kind of. I think soon. I think he could have done even more. But I mean, he won like what 4 in a row, I think, in
I
the
think it
F1.
was. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what a way
I
to
think it
end a
was
career.
harder. It was harder on a lot on your physical attribute. I feel like with the technology we have and every advancement, just think about the bikes back in the day. Think about the track layout. Like it was definitely harder. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have any of
Hmm.
that support, any of the technology we have now. So shoot, for instance, James Stewart, like we were barely getting into technology and we're moving up, but like you can definitely look at the different layout and how they like how much harder the sport was to now. I mean, it's still excuse me, obviously physical, but like we have so much like technology, like so many resources to go to physical therapy, do this. Back in the day, man, it was like, hey, bro, you get a bump in your hand, you break your arm, time to heal. You know, there's no going back out like anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, just the technology on these bikes. I mean, I just bought one. It's if I it's got the different modes you could change. It's got electric start and it's a two-stroke. I mean, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yang yang
Like,
yang 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 yang.
dude, I mean, 15 years ago that would have been insane.
Yeah,
And it's crazy how far dirt bikes have came in such a short time because being born in '97, I was actually just flipping through photos today. Excuse me. The Going to the Atlanta Supercross back in the early 2000s. A majority of the bikes were still two strokes at the
yeah,
time. I think the only four strokes in the field were Yamaha. I think they were the
yeah.
first ones, and like Tim Ferry and all those guys. And I was a kid at the time. I did not know what was coming, and shoot, I mean, like the amount of money that goes into these bikes, the ECUs they started putting, like the computer side of the bikes now. I mean, it's almost like a car now, to be
No, for
honest with
real.
you.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Kawasaki. I mean, look at
Hmm.
what Jason Anderson's writing, you know? Like, you ever really sit there and wait for the commercial breaks or, like, if you got it on Peacock? Jerry McGrath, like, he goes through, like, he, like, tells a lot about the bikes and, like, the, a whole bunch of, like, stuff. And I feel like really sitting down and, like, listening to understanding, like, how much stuff you can do, traction control, like traction control, you take traction control off, like, the different altitude and all that like I said, like two strokes back in the day, like you got to really carry momentum. So I mean, I feel like the tracks are just different. Then now it's like
Hmm.
four strokes. You have that power to get the torque and low end. So it's definitely different. I will say we're in a better state, and I feel like I'm just gonna say it, Jet Lawrence is growing the
Hmm.
community of dirt bikes. He's flashy. He's success. I mean, look at the freaking endorsements he's got, man. He's rocking I think a Rolex or something like that. I mean, that's
Driving a
crazy,
Ferrari.
dude. Yeah, you know what I mean? Can't beat that, dude.
Yeah, and he's giving back to his parents, just like I mean, he's living the dream. He's
No,
living the dream that
100%.
everybody wants, and
And he's
it's
humble. He's humble, man.
absolutely. He
I
brings
like
it
it.
up all the time. Him and his brother, and I actually didn't realize that they have a middle brother. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
So I heard about that, man. And what I actually do appreciate a lot is I'm glad that they don't keep it up in a media. I feel
Hmm.
like it's just family business. But it was really cool to like hear about that and just hearing about the special needs and all that. And man, I support that huge, man. Support any of that, like especially when they're talking about St. Jude and all that. I'm
Hmm.
glad how much they give back. It's huge. And Ken Roxon, the St. Jude, $25,000. I mean, that's a lot, man. A lot of people don't understand. Like it comes. It's about being as one. And I feel like not to talk about just MX bikes, but I think that's where the disconnect on MX bikes is. There's a huge disconnect to new players finding their way into the game because all these old heads and all these pros are so toxic and they almost make it to where it's like, oh, I don't want new people. I hate it. They shouldn't learn. They should be not playing the track. Like, how do you expect the community to grow and or be one when like you got people like that? Which once again, at the end of the day, it's a video game. You got that in every community, but it's hard to continue to find that, man. It's got a way of the bad, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, getting into MX bikes, I mean, Poboso never expected this game to be as big as it is, at least coming from his other games. It really is incredible to see, how the community is. And, like you said, there are a lot of the, I guess, veteran players that's played it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And, they've worked super hard to get to where they're at now. And, when someone like me and you comes in there and just kind of changes things and do our own thing, they don't want to change. They want to stick to their old ways, and it's just like motocross. You gotta
You gotta
innovate.
adapt. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
innovate. You gotta adapt. And like, I'm all
absolutely.
power to it, man. I'm all power to it. Like, should be no hate on anybody. I think I ain't gotta like you, but you gonna respect me. You ain't gotta like me, but you gonna respect my crippin', and that's
Absolutely.
all it is. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I don't care. We could disagree to agree, to disagree to disagree, everything you want to say on it. Like, I may not like your ways. I may not like the way you present yourself, but I will never ever pray on your downfall for you should not be growing, should not be grinding. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own goal. Everybody has their own way of bringing a little something to the table. But yeah, I think there's a huge disconnect on people growing, and I think for the most part, man, me and you, dude, we've gathered a lot of people in a small, like short amount of time to just say like, hey, man, like you're a small dude, but hey, we're here, we support you. You know what I mean? And that's huge. We do it a lot. So
Yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible. Like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're still super small in the YouTube world.
absolutely,
And like just the millions of people that we have reached out. And, I mean, how many people do you see come on your stream? Hey, what game are you playing? What game is
yeah,
this? I mean,
absolutely,
you almost want to have a bot that
yeah,
responds to it
literally, dude.
so
It's
much.
That's the biggest question, and I honestly enjoy it though because it may be annoying, but it's almost like working customer service, man. You know, you're gonna say the same line, like, "Hi, welcome here," blah blah blah. This is like you, but that's promotion, and that's how you want it to be. And I'm glad to actually have that every hour. I'd rather have that
Hmm.
than the same. You know what I mean? And it shows growth. It shows that we are growing. So, a lot of people might hate on it that YouTube Shorts and the way we're growing and all that, but think of the day and age we are in now. Attention span after COVID, 5 seconds. Four.
Yeah.
You got to captivate somebody within those 4 seconds, or they're swiping, dude. Why do you think I try my best to be so outgoing? I'm glad I'm so mellowed out. We're chilling right now, and I promise you, I am not the same person I am on camera. You know what I mean? Like I love having fun, dude. But wearing a pink poop hat, getting crazy, getting active. I love being able to be myself and know when I turn this camera off, I have a family to go to. I have a job to go to. This is all just for fun, man. This is a dream that like is just sparking out of nowhere. So I think a lot of people are having that hard time to really just be like, be yourself. That's my best advice is be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings up one of the questions I have is like, dude, how do you balance your work, your family? Because you got a little man, and
Yeah.
also your YouTube. I mean, it's absolutely insane that you can do all those things. Because I try to pump out a video every now and again. I try to stream every other day, shorts every day, and dude, it's tough. And you're
It
you're
is.
you're pumping out twice as much content as me. I'm just like, holy crap, how does he do it?
Yeah, man. So I think the biggest thing is who I have to thank the most is my wife. I mean,
Hmm.
she we I guess coming from both of us being in the military, we know what sacrifice is, we know what embracing the suck is, and we know what a grind is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um, I don't really say it much or anything, but yeah, I'm a cop in the military, dude. And I know what it is to be bashed on. I know what it is to go through hard times, struggles, everything. I mean, I've beyond me, dude. So I know that like nothing will happen over time, and I know that like things it is a grind. So every day, dude, I get about maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep. But good thing I have this little product placement here. I'm not even sponsored, but shout out to Rain Energy Drink, dude. Man, 300 milligrams keeps me bucked up, dude. And yeah, from the moment I wake up, if it's my day on, I got to go to work. I wake up like 45 minutes to an hour earlier so I can at least get a short out for the day or try to update. Because by the time I get off stream, dude, I'm tired, man. But I've got my content. I just need to wake up and be able to edit a little bit and post it. Call my wife during the day, like, hey, can you turn my PC off? My stuff's done uploading. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's hard. I mean, but I also have a good group at work, they're very supportive and I tell them all about it and they give me ideas. Shoot, even the Kelso Cup thing, one of my dudes, Coney, was just like trying to work us through it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I've worked so hard in my career to have a really good spot and I'm taking advantage of it. I would say 2 years ago, working on flight and stuff like that, doing 12-hour shifts. Now I've probably not been able to get as much grind as I'm doing now, but man, I work in an armory. I work at an armory, and I deal with guns every day, and I deal with everybody's bull crap that has to come to the window. And I'm glad to be able to be in a good little 8-hour shift and do my stuff. So, and I'm in a Panama schedule. So Panama schedules, I will have I work 2 days in 1 week, and then the other day I work 5 days. So I got a little good amount of downtime, but I worked hard to get to where it's at. So that's why I always say hard work, dedication, and motivation will get you anywhere. And then for the content wise, I realized that if I want to, I don't want to be in the military for 20 years. It was a dream, but it's like, there's so many options for me to get out, and especially that content's blowing up. I realize I need to work hard. It's not about having that time off, that day off. It's about, cool, I just got off my day job. This is a job that I want to do for when I'm done with the military. I can go to school and I can work this. That way I ain't got to go find another job when I get out. You know what I mean? So it's about knowing and setting yourself up for your life. And a lot of kids nowadays don't understand that. But that's why I'll sit here all day, and when I'm cranking on my content, I'll be whoever you want me to be on the camera. And then when that thing turns off, ain't nothing but a G thing. You can suck a fart out my ass. You know what I mean? I don't care, So yeah, it's nothing you can say to me, tell me what to do. I feel like I'm on my own grind. And if this grind's working for me, I'm going to continue it. So
yeah, dude.
it's a huge balance.
Seeing you stream anywhere between 4 and 8 hours every single day, I've heard you after the streams, like your voice is like, you can just tell your throat's dried out because you've been talking so much, and I don't think people realize.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's another thing that I think is so funny when people are like, dang, this man yaps a lot. When I think of a YouTuber, I think of someone that can relate, keep consistency and retention. Like when people start talking about, man, why don't you shut up? It's like, do you just want to sit here and watch a video game? If that's the case, just go watch ASMR, go watch a YouTube video that no one says anything. Like that's just not my content. That's not my style. Like I'm very talkative. I'm very outgoing, and I can relate to almost anything. So, that's why I just don't stop talking for sure. Like there's a different balance of understanding that you can keep, even if it's like you're not watching my video, but you can hear my voice. You might be something that you pick up in a conversation. You're like, wait a second, that just hooked me. And yeah, it does take a toll on my body, man. I'll tell you, when I get into like the mod chat and all that, they're like, "Oh, what's up, Kelso?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" I'm mellowed out, bro. I'm chilling back. I'm just vibing, dude. I'm just vibing.
Sleep.
Yeah, dude. I'm ready to be done, bro. Go chill with the wife. But yeah, I got to give it up to my wife, man. She's watching my son right now as we speak, so she's a huge support of it. And she, like, every time I go out there and be like, "Yeah, like I've hit this, I've hit that," she's like, "All right, let's get to the next number." So.
That's awesome. Having family like that supports you it's incredible. Yeah. Very rare thing. I mean, you don't see too many YouTubers, that have anyone like that supports them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Me being in the military as well. I mean, I want to say when I started out, it was like, let's do the 20 years. I think it'd be all right. And then once you get in, it's like, dude, this shit sucks. Oh my god, dude. There's
dude.
So many days I'm like, dude, what did I get myself into? Like, absolutely. I love if it wasn't for your brothers and sisters that you meet in the military, dude, I don't know what I would have done. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think I would have got like a dishonorable discharge or like other than honorable or any of those, but shoot, dude, especially in Japan, like fire alarm going off at 3:00 in the morning for a week straight. Riots outside of the gates. I mean, you've heard of the Marines in Japan. We freaking destroy that place. The locals hate us, as they should. And dude, it opened my eyes for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why, like, I say it, man. Like, that's why I come on YouTube and it's just like, give it whatever, man. If it pops off, it pops off. If it doesn't, I mean, hate me, I don't know. Hate me, love me, I don't care. But yeah, man. I mean, military does take a toll, and that's why I said, like, when I first got in, I was like, yeah, let's do the 20. And now, like, everything is popping off. I got a family. It's like, nah, I don't want to do this forever. You know what I mean? Like, I've set up other stuff. Now I will say I will never take away from all the opportunities opportunities. Holy crap, they've given me. I can't, like, all this stuff that I have on my stream and all that, man. I gotta think military, dude. They set me up in such good spots. I got to go Hawaii last year, dude. And this is why I'm so humble, and this is why I'm so giving back. And I got to go to Hawaii last year for 3 months. I got paid $20,000 within that time. I realized at that point you set my family up so well, and it's not even what I've saved on top of that. But I realized, what can I do to be a good person and give back to the community and give back? I love it, man. I love it a lot. I don't say that as a flex. I say that as like, you guys know, I don't sit here and just like hold my money in or just want your money. I'm always giving back. Always giving back.
Yeah, and I think the Kelso Cup was a perfect example of that. I mean, we set up everything, had the sign-ups, and I mean, we didn't even have that many sign-ups, and you gave, I mean, hundreds of dollars right back to the community. Who else on YouTube is doing that right now? I mean,
No.
absolutely nobody. And
Yeah.
it just shows how much of a great person you are. Honestly, I'll go out and say it. I mean, you're extremely humble, level-headed. I mean, you have a goal, you set it, and you execute. And I think that's why you're so successful, dude. I mean, that and just the energy you have, like, dude, it's like you got rain going through your veins, during live streams.
Literally, dude. Yeah.
Those,
Literally, man.
those things kept me alive in Japan.
I'm telling you, man, it's the best energy drink. Like, respectfully, I hate that like you want to try to get a sponsorship for G Fuel just because it's video games, and then you want to do Monster because Monster's part of motocross. I kid you not, man. That is the best energy drink I've ever had in my life, and I stand by it. So, yeah. I literally do stand by it. Like, I love it, dude. So, yeah.
We'll see,
But
dude.
I didn't mean to flex on any of that. I
No,
didn't. I
no.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't make that out. I just wanted like everybody to like understand like where I come from, and like I understand how like what a struggle is, and I understand that like I'm thankful for like being in the spot I'm given. That way I want to give back and be like, hey, it ain't nothing for me to throw a setup for somebody that's out there that may need it. You know what I mean? So,
Right. A lot of our audience are, younger,
mhm.
kids, and, they don't have a job. They don't have an income. I know when I
Yeah,
was a kid, my parents didn't give me jack shit, honestly.
absolutely never, bro. I
Like, I had
didn't get a
to,
PC. I didn't get a PC until I grew up, like got out the house. You know what I mean? So,
I think they got me an Xbox, but, I was cutting grass for a whole year, doing all
yeah,
sorts of stuff. So, like, that, but seeing kids come in our stream and, like, even if we give away a track, give away, a season pass, something like that, 5, $10, whatever it is, just doing things like that and giving those kids the opportunity to race, paid tracks that, typically they wouldn't be able to. I mean, it's rewarding in itself, like,
yeah,
just,
it
I don't
is.
know.
It's happy to know when I turn this PC off, like whose life did I change today? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And in a small grand scheme of thing, like it's what crazy is that it actually blows my mind every time when people's like, man, I love your content, man, I enjoy that you're streaming today. Like every time I post a video, I get about like 7 people. Oh, are you going live today? Oh, are you going live today? It's like, dang, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm happy that you want to see that and that you enjoy my content, and it's cool, man. It's a cool experience. And I've always told myself, man, if I've ever started to grow, I'm gonna be the exact same person I am from when I start my content to now. And I just hope that's like being portrayed as the same person. So, and I know a lot of people know me now because of like how I'm growing now. But before that, dude, shoot, ain't nothing but a G thing at that point, man. My boy Stratos, me and him been thick and thin, bro.
Been through it all, dude. And going back to the military thing, I think that's really opened my eyes. Like a lot of the guys I was in the military with, especially in boot camp, that's when you probably have the most amount of people from all over the place. And I had guys that were basically criminals. I mean, like selling
Yeah.
counterfeit stuff and been in trouble with the law. Half of them, got their GED but didn't go to school. Super poor income, super poor families, and seeing those guys do that, become successful. I mean, it just opens your world. A whole different perspective. Like, when I see somebody in a store and they're not able to buy their kid like a toy or whatever, it's like it's humbling. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
that could be me. That could be
yeah,
me. But it's like,
it
what can I
really is.
do? What can I do to give kids like that opportunities? And like, I think that's kind of part of our live stream. Who knows what half of our viewers are going through right now, and
No,
to give a little bit back, $5, is whatever, make that in a day on YouTube. But
Oh,
$5 for a 10-year-old kid, that doesn't have
yeah,
anything. I mean, shoot.
exactly. Day in YouTube, what I make of my regular job, you know what I mean? Like, this is all for fun, man. And if I can keep this, if I can, as long as I can keep this more of a hobby than a job, or as long as it can go, that's the amazing part. I think a lot of people don't understand that once when you turn this into a job, that's when things get very competitive. That's
Hmm.
when when you start to really grow hatred for a lot of stuff. And it's like, man, if you're not winning, if you're not doing good, things hard. Things are hard. You know what I mean? So, um,
Yeah, and we've seen so many YouTubers, like you've seen downfalls of, like, I don't know, Boogie 288, people like that I mean peaked, absolute peaked on YouTube, and I mean now they're basically homeless,
mhm,
don't have anything, and it kind of got to them a little bit, and
yeah,
you can't be like that. You got to
no,
realize where you're at. You got to, sometimes it is a job, sometimes it's a hobby. It's whatever you make it out to be, and
yeah,
got to stick to it.
yeah. I think spin within your means as well. I think a lot of people get that limelight and they're like blowing things out of the proportion, blowing things out of the water, spending their money in bad ways. And it's a lot of how these big YouTubers go crazy. They see that first check or they see that one big check and it's like, man, what could you actually have done with that money instead of trying to go buy a Lambo or trying to do this? You know what I mean? Like, think about it, dude. And I that day ever comes, dude, put it in something to where it's like I want to retire in some like Sambo or something to where it's like money's cheap, you know what I mean? You got a nice big piece of land. I ain't gotta ever worried about like playing video games. I can just play video games for fun, never have to do YouTube, you know. That's the goal. You know, you just gotta be an end game to it, you know?
Yeah, so for me, I don't make any crazy numbers off of YouTube. Usually 100-200 bucks a month. Just be honest with you, and
Yeah.
you know, I take that little bit of money that I make every month and I invest it back into my channel. I'm sure you do the same thing. Like
Absolutely.
this microphone, this headset, this controller right here, even my dirt bike. I do payments on it. It's like $100 a month. It's nothing too crazy, but like just little things like that, I can invest back into my channel, and that just makes even more content, even greater content. And that's what you got to do as a YouTuber. I think when you start blowing it on irrelevant things that is let's see, not a valuable asset,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
if I buy a dirt bike, I could always sell it and get back a good chunk of change out of it. I could use that to make videos, which is going to make even more money, more content,
Yeah, for real,
So
dude.
it's a great investment, but like, I don't know. I won't go into too much crap, but
No,
uh,
100%. I guess we'll stray off the money side. You know, I feel like money, politics, and religion will definitely create a lot of fights, and I feel like this is a good segment. But I guess it was a good thing to show where our heads are,
yeah, absolutely.
because it's the same thing for me, man. That's why I always give back. You know what I mean? Like this, like I said, it's a hobby. It's fun. You know, like the money I could do here could pay off like a car note, pay off like like groceries. You know, and that's the good thing.
Yeah,
That's what you want it to where it's like, okay, my regular job stuff, I don't have to dip into that money. So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So I guess let's kind of backtrack a little bit. So like, let's talk about what got you into MX bikes. Like, how did you find it? Who were you watching, or what were you doing? Like,
Yeah, so when I first got my job into the armory, I had this guy. I had to give him complete shout out, dude. Shout out to my boy Comer, man. I got there. I didn't know. I always loved the ride. Like I said, I'm a street bike guy, man. I don't know much about dirt bikes where I do now, but before he was just like when I joined. It was. I mean, when I got in there, it was probably like November or so, and it was the start of 2020, like 2022, going into 2023, and yeah, dude, he was like, he was like, yeah, bro, you watch any dirt bike stuff? I was like, no, I don't at all. He's like, well, Supercross is coming up, and I got to get you spun up. I was like, okay, like let's do it. I don't care, like why not, man? I'm always so open to everything. And I start watching, and like he's trying to tell me, like, okay, green means what? Like Kawasaki. Yellow, the yellow means what? Suzuki. You know, so we're just going through that. Now he starts saying, all right, put the names of people and stuff like that. And then he was like, they got a game like this on PC. I know you play it. And I was like, no, they don't, bro. Stop it. And I didn't think about making content at all. But I was trying to do a little bit of Hogwarts. I was trying to do a little bit of Overwatch. If you ever go back to the beginning of my channel, I'd maybe made like 5 Overwatch videos, couple little Hogwarts stuff. But I just felt like it just wasn't my time. I felt like it was so saturated. You got to find something to grow on. And I will say this as a little advice, like piece of advice. You got to grow on a game to where the community's big enough, small enough, but not super big enough to where it's like you can grow and gain off of that. To where it's like if you ever wanted to go to a Triple Crown game like Call of Duty and stuff like that, you can venture off. You know what I mean? You can try it when you start getting the growth to it. But yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, let me try this out. And the first person I saw was 623, and he was doing 20 times E road on Houston round 4, and he did like it was like a 20-minute video of it. And I was like, this looks fun. I need to get into this. So I went home. I bought the game. I said, babe, I'm gonna try this out. I fell so many times, man. Oh my gosh. I got Paletta V2. Paletta V2 was amazing. That's my first ever downloaded track. Yeah, and then I think my first ever video was like playing on Paletta, and I was like, dude, this game humbles you, dude. Because I told my dude Comer, I was like, I'm gonna go home and I'm about to be a beast at this game. Anything that guy's doing, I can do it 10 times better. It wasn't like that at all, dude.
Yeah, and like just the progression, just the grind that MX Bikes has, like it's unlike any other game I've ever played. Like,
No, yeah,
Call of Duty, you hop on it, you're as good as you're probably going to get until you learn the maps or whatever. But like, that's 20 hours. I'm doing halfway decent. MX Bikes, I'm like 750 hours in, and I still barely qualify for an amateur race. Like,
it's hard, dude. I've never played anything. I've never played a game like this. I've never played like a. I almost compare this game to a looter shooter, where you never have the best gear. You're never the best player out there. I compare it to the Division, doing PvP in the Dark Zone. I don't know if anybody remembers that game, but I compare this game to that. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in this game, how much times you go through a raid. You're always looking for that best little mode, and you're never going to be the best, even if you have it. It's like RNG, man. Like one day you're on fire, and the next day you're cold, man. And it sucks. You can never be the best at this game, and that's what I love.
Absolutely. Like you look at guys like Cam and Skills and King Rider and Lens and Aiden, all those guys, that are at one point were top level in the game. And, you see them struggle every now and again. I mean, a track might be built differently. It might have a different, like this year with the ruts, no smooth tracks this year. I think that was a huge.
Anaheim 1 was like the only one, right?
Yeah. And like, starting round 2, especially round 3, it's supposed to be a mutter. Had some rain. Like, it's slowed the game down a lot, I think. And I think a lot of guys have struggled with that. But, it's just like anything. You grind it long enough, and now, it's starting to click.
You're good at it.
Yeah.
I like it. It adds a new flavor to the game. It definitely helps out with hazards just a bit. I mean, the hazard is going to be hazards, but it definitely helps out with you able to take an outside rut and someone's able to take that inside rut. The only thing that sucks is if that person's trying to take that inside rut and they're not that skilled at it and they get kicked out of it, they are coming straight to you. So it sucks, man. But it does mitigate the block passes of literally being able to cut half the track and wipe somebody off on a berm. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And I think Stone Rider has mostly built the tracks for 450s. So the 250s definitely still struggle a little bit, but I go back and download some of the 2020 tracks and ride those every now and again, and just going from that caliber of a track to what we have now. I mean, Stone Rider's done an incredible job building these tracks. It's truly unique every week.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not exactly how the real life Supercross tracks are, but he's doing damn near 20 tracks per season, and he's building them every week. And I mean, it's super impressive, and he's the only one doing it.
Yeah, which I give him praise, I give him hate. And it's a hate-love relationship more than anything. It's like anything, a hate-love relationship. One track, I'm like, oh, this is the best track in the world. The next track, I'm just not flowing with it straight up. Like, I hate it. But, you can't please everybody. And at the end of the day, it's not like I really hate him for it. Like, it's just like, man, I can't find a groove on this track, And that's just how it is. But I will say he's definitely leading the charge. And I give him praise for it, man. It's a W.
Yeah.
I do that back for TFC as well. I think just the time of his tracks was not up to par with the bikes we had. Like his tracks are above what our bikes were at the time.
Yeah, those bikes back then, were super twitchy. I
Hmm.
think what was it, beta 16 or 17? Those
Yeah,
bikes were so much harder to ride than what we have now. And, I think TFC wound up, he completely left, didn't he? Like, he's not even in the,
I think so, man. I haven't seen anything from him in a while, but like always, man, people leave and they come back. I mean,
yeah,
speaking of Endo, I remember when I had gave a little spill about it. Like came back like like 4 months later, 3 months, something like
yeah.
that. So I don't know. You love motocross so much, and I feel like this is the only game out there other than Sim really putting out a simulator style. Now I know Track Day R is coming out, and we're like getting some crazy updates, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so, I've been following Track Day Art. I was super pumped for another game like that. Looked pretty great for, the small team that it had. But I don't think they've had an update in a very long time. Like, I want to say almost a year. I think that game's pretty much.
So Track Day R, what I have seen, I have bought the game. They do small updates, but they've done a lot of hot. I would say it's hot fixes. I think it's hot fixes that they're doing. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. But yeah, they've been recently doing a lot of good little stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up my Steam here on the second monitor and see. Because I know, who was it? Powdered, one of our
Yeah.
guys we've done some videos with. He's been really big in that game here recently, and I think it's great for these different motocross games to come out because all of them are different. They all have their own style, different graphics. It's good to have some competition. Unfortunately, Paposo is still a little bit on the slower side with his updates, but we have such a great modding community that like Nico and everybody's built. Nico and Insane, owner of the bike shop, MXB Mods. That it's other than MX Sim, there's not really another community that people can do something like this. So
No, 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 they can't. I enjoy it. I love it. As much toxicity is in the community, there's love in this community. There's a lot of new players that are coming. So, um, I would say I would say for the most part, I focus more on new riders, man. You know what I mean? I focus on the new people more than the old people. I don't care to be pro in this game. Like, yeah, okay, like I made it, but like I think I had more fun in this game having fun with the community. And those are the people that are going to keep coming back every day and wanting to have fun. I think it's just there's a different like a huge disconnect of people that only play this game to become a pro and then say like I don't play this game outside of that. And there's other people that say like, I just want to get on this game and have fun. And that's the community you want to drive with.
yeah, I mean, I fell victim to it earlier this year, back in February, before the season even started. I was me and Murph. You know Murph.
Yeah.
Sitting here grinding Supercross every single day, hours a day. Didn't even make videos on it, just sitting here grinding, getting ready for the Supercross season. And first round hit, I didn't even qual for AMS. Like, didn't even come close. I was a second off. And that was a punch in the gut. And I straight up just didn't play it for like a whole month. I mean, my content started slacking, but like exactly what you said. I think when you take the game super seriously and it's not as fun. You lose that drive because like you get humbled eventually. I mean, I know me not qualifying that first race was huge.
Yeah.
So
No, I fell victim to this as well. I mean, I've made videos on like my progress of trying to get there. You know what I mean? And it's you can even see it now. Like I'll hop on a stream and I'm trying to practice the track, and I got everybody saying, "When are we going to free tracks? When are we going to free tracks?" And it's like half of me is like, "Man, I really want to practice. I really want to qualify. It'd be cool." The other half of me is like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'd probably get more love and more respect getting off of this, and let's go play some stuff. You know what I mean? So like a little pick and choose, and I realized at the end of the day, I'd always pick the community and my dudes, and literally trying to qualify for something. I will say, round 17 had me heated, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. But I guess I should have went 450 the easy way out. But I think I was happy to know I was only 3 places off from qualifying for East Coast, so that was cool. Yeah.
yeah, let's see, what was it? I think Indianapolis was my kryptonite this year. That track, oh my god, the little tire tap before the finish line.
Yeah.
Pissing me off, dude. I'm so tired of this.
Dude, it's crazy to know how many little cool techniques there are in this game and weird like controller things you can do to get like really crazy. Oh man, I still haven't even mastered all of it, man. So I don't know. I just think just riding the game and riding the community has taught me to just how be a little bit better and faster, and also dodge hazards, man. That's like 101 these days, dude.
Yeah, like going back to like pro racing, dude, like starts are so crucial. Those first like 2 to 3 laps are it sets your race. You know, if you get stuck in the back and you're sitting there crashing into people the first 2 laps and you find yourself 30, 40 seconds behind the leader, you're screwed. There's
Yeah, you're
no
done so.
way. Yeah, there's no way that you're ever going to catch back up to that guy.
No,
And
and it's not even it's and he's probably has like a really good flow, but it's not even that. It's the people that you have to fight through
yeah,
and are probably going to
exactly.
crash 17 more times. And at that point you're done. You're chalked.
Yeah, like I've seen Cam. I talk to him on Discord every now and again, and I've seen him. I mean, arguably one of the fastest riders in the game right now. I mean, for sure, top 5 fastest. And um, seeing him go into a race, crash in the first turn, and then just get buried in the field. You see him fight through every now and again, all the way back up to the front. But dude, like I think there's 2 or 3 rounds where he just kept getting taken out and just done.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. It's hard. You just realize, like, man, it's chalk. Like, if you don't get a good start, or like MX bikes gods are on your side, you're done. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and these tracks are even a little bit wider, I want to say, than the IRL tracks. So,
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough, the contacts in this game, dude. But yeah, so other than MX bikes, do you have any other, like games that you're working on or, thinking about branching out to the future?
Yeah, right now, I've been doing Gray Zone Warfare. This is another, I guess, little advice tip. I don't really like mixing my content. I feel like later down the road, when you get the fan base and the playership for it, or like people that want to do like follow you anywhere, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And I would say that's Doctor Disrespect, him the
Hmm.
Tap Man, stuff like that. That's that era. But here right now, I just want to play Gray Zone because I don't get to play Overwatch no more. I don't get to play Hell Divers like that. So it's good to know that I've actually wanted to stream this game, because now it's like I can just actually play it while streaming, like a lot of time. Knowing that I have my family, it's a hit in the face to my wife to know I just streamed for 4 hours, then get off and still play for like 2 more hours. You know what I mean? So got to
Right.
find something to where it's like, okay, bet I want to play this game, and I know that it's new, it's fun, and it's gonna grow. I need to find a way to make this like part of my stuff. So it's a slow burner, but I'm enjoying it. I really do. So Gray Zone's probably the only one right now.
Yeah, I think I do recall seeing you play like I think it was a Seta Corsa back a couple
Yeah,
months ago. Yeah, did some drifting on there.
yeah. So I
Um,
tried that out for a little bit. That was not bad, but yeah. Um, and I'm getting a new PC, and I just haven't re-downloaded it. So I have the controller. I mean, I have the steering wheel, the throttle, the clutch, all that stuff.
yeah,
Just I
and
feel like doing it.
yeah, and like my background, I mean, for 10 plus years was just sim racing and coming over something like this where all you need is an Xbox controller
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah, for real, dude, for real. Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, man, I've been playing Siege for a very long time. I've been playing shooters. Like it's good to show a little bit of my skills off for my shooting wise and my gun skill, like on Gray Zone. Because, man, if we were to hop on Siege a little bit or this and that, it's like a whole different ball game, man. Like I love shooters, man. I'm not bad at shooting games. It's crazy to know that I started my content on a dirt bike game. So I'm just like, dude, this is wild. But hey, like that goes to show, like I want to adapt and I want to try something new. I want to give it a go. Like if this is what's gonna grow us, and this one's gonna be like, let's have a fun community. Let's do it on dirt bikes. And I'm already a street rider or bike lover, so you know what I mean. Like, let's do it. And we'll put the little shooting on the back burner until we get a little bit bigger in fame. So
Yeah, and exactly what you said is, use MX bikes to build your audience. Once you get, I mean, look at Troy and Lens. I mean, they're 60K subs. You have guys like Wyndham 151 that's, over, I think, 150,000 subs now. And all they've ever played is motocross games. Wyndham kind of is branched out into doing other games like MX versus ATV. He's done MX bikes, and his fan base kind of follows him around. But like when I went and did MX versus ATV, I think I had like 2 viewers maybe. So
Yeah.
it works
Yeah.
for some people.
It's the real thing. Like no one understands that. It's like people's like, oh, I love your content, I love this. Like, no, you love MX bikes. And like it's respectfully, like you love MX bikes. And I'm not mad at that. Like I want to change that to where it's like, Kelso, I will follow you anywhere. Now, recently, yeah, for Gray Zone, man, we've actually had people that stuck around for it. So I enjoy that. Like that's the cool little part about it. But it's not enough. It's never not enough to it's like, all right, bet we can fully make a transition. So yeah, man, I'm just glad I'm able to intertwine it, maybe 2 videos, maybe a stream here and there, but stay on the MX bikes grind for sure.
Yeah, I've seen. I think Troy started experimenting with it a little bit, and you can just automatically tell like he loses 80%
Yeah.
of his viewers. So like even someone like him at that level is still not quite there. And like you said, Doctor Disrespect, guys like that. Growing up playing, or starting out playing, what was it, Tarkov and DayZ, and games like that. And Brent, I mean, they could play whatever game they wanted. They could play, they could paint a picture on Paint on their computer, and they'll have 100,000 people watching.
Yeah, no, for real. And that's what you want to grind to. And it's like, you're not at that level. And if you can accept knowing you're not at that level, dude, just stick to what you think you want to do and do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all. I
Yeah.
sometimes hate having to I sometimes hate like knowing that I want to make content on it, but I just think like throw it here just a little bit just to see. And yeah, that's it.
One day. One day.
One day, man. But cool.
So, like, besides motocross and watching it and things like that, do you have any other hobbies that you do outside of maybe something that you haven't shared on YouTube yet?
um, outside of like riding bikes, like street bikes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like you like cars or anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm not a huge car guy at all, actually. But
Oh,
I love football, man. I love football and track. Um, I'll do some like flag football here on base and stuff like that. That's fun. Um, right now, man, being a dad, I don't really have much more
yeah.
hobbies. This is my hobby. You know what I mean? So, biggest thing is just spending time with the fam. Like that. That's my biggest like achievement. And maybe just like trying to find something to watch. I would say for a hobby, I love watching Invincibles.
Okay.
I just got done watching Jack Reacher. That was cool. And I'm trying to think. I just started getting the anime. I watched all of Attack on Titan, Berserk. I mean, yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't do much. Like this has always been my favorite hobby is playing video games. So if I'm not streaming, I'm chilling with the family. If I'm not chilling with the family and I'm not streaming, then it's maybe go ride my bike for a second and then try to play Overwatch. Try to play something else, like I just don't got that much time. There's only so much time in the day,
Yeah, man,
So,
it sucks, and I feel victim. I sleep a lot. I'm maybe not as bad as Panda, but
yeah,
I
that
still
boy's slumped.
yeah,
That
every
boy's
time I message him, he's sleeping. But
slumped.
dude, like I catch myself sometimes. I'm like, dude, you are wasting time. Like,
Yeah, no, for real.
I forget what the amount of what is it hours that you have in your lifetime, but it is on the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. And like,
No, it's
you,
not.
we are not on this earth for a long time, and you got to use your time wisely. And
Yeah, man. The body can function off 4 hours, bro. So that's all
yeah,
you need, man.
yeah, dude, and I don't know. I need to figure it out. I need to go buy me some reins or something, dude, because like I get home from work, and I think it's because my work. I'm a system engineer, so I sit in a freaking cubicle all day on a computer, 8 hours straight, and it's like I think doing that and then coming home and then doing that again for another, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, it's tough.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You gotta find something to get bucked up on, man. Yeah, you gotta stay at. Got. I think the biggest thing is what drives me and motivates me is being at work, but always keeping my mind on content, like what I
right,
can do, when I get home, and that's what makes me want to get on the computer, or like get on stream. I would say like I'm super savvy at my job, and I love it, and it's just like if I have that down packed, I'm not going to lose my job, and I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to work hard. The whole time, I'm back burner. Okay, what can I do for the next this? What's that? Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's it, man. So just
Yeah.
I would say my advice to it, just have a drive, have a goal to it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do this, but I need to do this. You know what I mean? It's at.
Yeah, dude. It's almost like you gotta live your life like where you want to be. Like, like how how could I explain that? Like, I want to be a motocross content creator. So like, if I'm out there doing something completely different, and it's not really working towards my goal. So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
when I'm at work, I'm always jotting down ideas like, oh, let's do a 1v1 race at whatever track and this person, or start a freaking podcast.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I like it. This is a W idea, man. I could never. So you take the reins on this, man. I'm good right here in the little cockpit spot. You know what I'm saying? I like this, man. This is huge, man. Appreciate you for having me on here.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for being number one. I mean, I can't think of anyone else to be
Yeah.
number one. So, but yeah, hopefully one day, some of my plans, I would like to have like maybe JV on here, Nico, some of the big guys in the community, and who knows? Who knows what we will branch out and start doing. But hopefully, when I start riding my bike, I think Murph has my gear. He shout out to Murph for buying my gear for me, giving that homie hookup. But got the FXR gear. But yeah, as soon as I start doing that, it's keeping me active, start losing some weight.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, start making content on that. Kind of have that IRL motocross as well as your MX bikes. So
yeah,
big good comparison, contrast, whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, I just picked me up a ZX6R, a Kawasaki Ninja, and I don't know if I want to do ride outs on the street, or I want to grab me dirt bike tires and do something make my Supermoto a dirt bike thing and do that. So we'll find out, man.
Yeah, maybe one day, track day. We're not too far apart.
You know what I'm saying? Little side by side.
Dude,
yeah, man.
Oh, my computer. But yeah, dude, hit an hour. Shoot, I'll let you get back to your streaming, dude. Thank you so much for being number one on this podcast.
You are so welcome, bro. I'm glad you had me on here. Yeah, let's keep working hard, bro. See you 10K. Come on.
Yes, sir. All right,
wait,
bro.
take it. Oh, too easy, Stratos. I love you, bro. Appreciate you,
bro. Yes, sir. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this episode. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you for episode 2. Peace out.